Yeah, hi all, welcome to another session of mock interviews with Ankit Jain. So this is me, Ankit Jain. So I'm a technical architect at MNC. I'm 18X certified. I'm active in Salesforce event. Just yesterday, I attended an event with admin group where we talked about the product management related stuff. And this is my LinkedIn URL. So feel free to connect with me. And suppose if you want to be updated on the future sessions, you can join the WhatsApp group. This is the QR code for that. And suppose if you want to have one-to-one session with me, you can book it on TalkMate. And we have recorded many mock interviews and we have also discussed some of the interview questions in the past, which are available on the YouTube channel. So you can have a watch on that. So you can like, comment, share, and subscribe on this. So today we'll be discussing around the job seeker tips. So basically what happens is job seekers many of you are facing a lot of problems. So I have kind of categorized those and then we'll have show means whatever can be done. I've talked about that as well. So I categorize it as the first problem is like resume is not getting shortlisted. You apply many people where and in multiple places, but you are not getting interview calls because of your resume. See, there are a couple of things in that. First thing is like your resume gets shortlisted based on two means there are two ways like your resume gets shortlisted. First is through the ATS, which is the application tracking system. So what it does is it looks at what your resume, tries to find the keywords related to that, and does a scoring out of it. So based on that score, if that your score resume score is above the threshold, then only your resume gets shortlisted. Second is manual. Like even now, few companies still follow the traditional approach. So what we look means where the screening team looks for that is like your skill sets are very much evident, and we are looking there are some keywords that we look for. Like suppose when we're talking about LWC, just writing LWC wouldn't help it in current scenario. You'll have to take into account and tell it very clearly, like I use the data table or I use the lightning message service, I created custom events, or I use the @ wire decorator. It should be clear cut evident, like yes, this person has worked on this LWC. And when we're talking about say sales cloud, we're talking about like a lead conversion or any of the objects you can, or whichever thing you have worked out in the sales cloud, you can kind of highlight it. Like in sales cloud, we have the forecasting capability, we have the cases, we have the lead assignment rules. We can talk any of those, but it should clearly tell the person that yes, this person has the relevant skill set. So because of such scenarios, resumes don't get shortlisted. So, and there's another important part. See, each of the job requirements that you come across, each one require means mostly the things are same, but few of the job openings require special skill set. What I mean is there might be a software engineer would be a designation. In one vacancy, you might see the basic stuff only they're asking, like LWC and the core platform. But another vacancy that you would see in that they're expecting you to know, say, Visual Force as well. Might be they have some legacy means they have some support work. In that they need the Aura and Visual Force as well. So if you use the same resume, then the means for obvious reason, like each requirement, as I've discussed earlier, like each job requirement might require different skill set. So in that, like the scoring mechanism, your scores will be less. So automatically it would reduce your chances of your resume being shortlisted. Then comes the other parts. In your resume, you have to mention around the stats. Stats actually attract the recruiters very much. And your resume, people who actually screen these resumes manually, they hardly take a minute. So in that 1 minute, your resume should be so much impressive. It should be very much clear. Like it clearly should show, like in one go, like your resume should tell about like your quick summary, skill set, certifications. So that is the most important part. Any confusion on this one? We can talk on this. Any questions or anybody wants me to elaborate or any practical example? Feel free to recording again, and I will just answer it. See, what happens is like there are few resume formats. Like this could be shared with you because this is provided by Salesforce when. So your technical summary means professional summary is relevant. Like here, where you clearly tell them like I'm this much certified and these are the specific area my skill set includes. A summary tells me in 1 minute, like these are the skill set and certifications are important as well. Yeah, but it should be clear cut evident. That is the intention. Uh, are you clear or shall I explain again?
Yeah, okay.
So this is one such resume template which I found like it's provided by Salesforce when I found it quite simple as well as worth it because I'm able to see the skill set very clearly. Certifications and the summary is also mentioned. So this helps me, and the stats are also there. And stats again attract me. Like yes, this means it's quite good. And here notice as well where they had talked about the case management. They also used like mentioned like whatever they have used means done. Like they manage the support tickets, but they mentioned the object name as well, which tells me like yes, this person has worked on this stuff. Education comes to the last, another important part. Because you would be hired not for your college education or your bachelor degree, you would be hired for whatever skill set you possess. So the key important part which makes you hire is your certifications, skill set. So these are the important parts that come under this category of resume not being shortlisted. Okay. So this was the first problem that we discussed. Now we'll go over the second problem. The second one I would say is around lack of awareness, I would say. You don't know like what is needed in the market. So you means as the things are changing and there are various things that candidate is expected to know. Like whatever is the means nowadays like LWC is kind of a must have skill. There's no option on that. Apex anyways you should know. The lightning flows you should know, and any one cloud at least you should know. These are just the core cloud. If you don't know the means, it's hardly any chance like you don't know this, but you know the other industry clouds. But these are at least a must. Like at least you know should know some functionalities around these things, and you should be always be updated around the latest features that are available. So, and as for the market demand, like certification, doing certification would have help you have an upper edge over other people. Although in the interview like we don't really like shortlist just based on the certifications, but many companies also do that. And other part is when you do a certification you gain you deep dive into that topic. Like suppose I've done suppose sales cloud certification, then I would go into very much details around how does the lead work, how does the lead conversion happen, are the triggers being fired or not, what is forecasting. So I do a lot of research and do a lot of studies. So that helps me crack the technical part of the things as well. Any question on this? Anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are the important points regarding the sales cloud and service cloud? Because we used to study only about data security, right? Data sharing models and MS triggers and all. So what are the basic and if I talk about in sales cloud or service cloud, so I used to study on the omni channel supervisor and all. So what are the common things that I should prepare for if I talk about the basically core topic in sales cloud or service cloud?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how do I know like which topic in the resume you are asking, or in general around the interview preparation you are asking?
In general, around the interview.
Around the interview, like, yes, there are a lot of things in that. Like, there's one video which I prepared. I can just show you that way as well, which is around the miscellaneous interview questions. Like, I was kind of expecting this. Let me just open that. So we have already recorded means on various clouds. Like, I have combined them into one. Like in this playlist of quick interview preparation, you will find that video, because this is like not a full interview, it's just around interview questions. So I have kind of kept it separate so that people can actually, uh, yes, this is the one. Like here, it's like Sales Cloud, Experience Cloud, it's therein. So you can have a watch on this video, which should cover many things around this. Okay. Uh, does this answer your question?
Yes.
So let me just go to the, so uh, anybody has any other questions?
So I have one more question. That's I have the experience of 2.7 years, right? So
Yeah,
currently in market, what I'm seeing that the company are hiring the people who has the experience of more than 3 year of experience, right?
yeah.
So can I apply in that company also? Will they what so what should I do? What should I do? So they can shortlist me because I have not experience of above 3 years, right? I have the experience of
Uh,
2.6.
th- yeah, I understand this part. So here, what you can do is in your resume, don't mention it like to yeah, another important part of any resume. Don't mention the exact 2.7 years or 3.4 years. If it is like 2.7, it's close to 3, right? In your resume, mention it like around 3 years experience. Whenever they say around 3 years, automatically the resume gets shortlisted. Then in the interview, like if they go in deep dive and do the calculation, you can mention that I have the means it's 2.7, so it's around 3 years. And I had to have the technical skills that would be needed for 3 years experience. So can you please evaluate me? You can request the HR.
And actually, in this time of in this time frame in 2.5 or 2.7 of the year of time frame, I have mostly worked as an admin, right? Mostly worked as an admin. But when I got a call from any of the HR from, so they want that, do you have any they said that yeah, you have the experience of 2.7 year, okay, but do you have any experience of any 2.3 year of experience in development or only? So in that case, what should I do?
I would say like uh, you want to means earlier you were admin, you want to switch to a developer role.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say like uh, going down the line, considering the India context, most of the you can apply from some product-based companies where they do have vacancies for admin, where you might get, but they're also expecting a little bit of knowing Apex. So
Yes,
that
a basic knowledge of FX I have. Then basic triggers, the roll up summary triggers, right? Map, but basic for map, how to deal with map. This much of understanding I have, and I this much of scenario I can make.
Mm. See, to be fair, market is quite unfair. So whatever you got exposure and all, they don't really care about this. What they care is like there are other people who have this skill. So being to be in this race of getting hired, you can't means you will need to upskill yourself. It's not a option. It is a necessity of the, or it is a need of the hour, I would say.
So, and one more last question that how much career gap should there, because in 2 or 3 days my notice period will be over. Now I'm looking for another opportunity now, right? So how much the of career gap will be allowed by any other company if
No,
do you
man,
think
no.
any headache?
See, normally earlier it used to be 15 days, 15 or 20 days, uh, when you apply, like when I used to apply in my early days, at that time, if there was gap of more than 20 days or something, it would open up in the form on the job application itself. It used to ask me around like what was the reason for this career gap. So in that, you might have to provide the justification. But I would say the shorter, like 10-15 days, it's fine. More like you should have a strong reason for that. That is the reason that they would ask you, obviously. So at 15 days at least you can consider. And but hello, my voice is clear.
Yes, your voice.
Okay, no, I was a bit worried because I'm not able to see here the voice modulation being happening. So that's why asking you. Yeah, so I would say like try to keep it around 15 days. More than that would make means in the form itself, it would ask you the reason for that. And also it might happen like in the ATS, they might be because it is like ATS tools in their admin in the configuration, definitely they might have added some criteria for this career gap as well. So that can reduce your chances of being hired. So the lesser you keep it, the better. Okay. Mm. So just for project practice to start, okay. Start to end. I would say it depends. Uh, what touchy topic? So can you be more concrete or specific? I would say, like, are you talking about Apex? Are you talking about LWC? Or you want general? I suppose you want to just for practice the Apex. There's a website apexsandbox.io which offers a lot of scenarios for practice. Suppose you want to just practice around the end-to-end requirement. There are some admin related scenarios which I found somewhere so that I can share in. And other than that, your super badges also have the end-to-end scenarios, so you can try practicing those as well. I hope like this answers the question. So are we clear on these two? Can we move forward? I'm taking this as a yes. Okay. So the next problem that we have is like you're getting the interview calls, but you're not able to clear it. This is very much easy to tackle, I would say, compared to others, because you're not dependent on any other things. What you need is just like upskilling yourself. So the first thing that you would need to do is understand the basics. What I have noticed is like uh, we normally take the things as like we don't like understand it like there's a small child, right? Whenever you ask him to do anything, he would cross question you. And the basic reasoning thoughts that we have in the childhood, those gets lost up as we grow up. And this creates some problem, like we get some misconceptions. Taking into a very simple example, like talking about a map, like right, we have the key and value. In our careers, we have never used any object as a key. And we have thought like it is not possible. So here our core concept is like very simple, like it is a key and value. Our brain should clearly say like key there, nowhere in the documentation it mentioned like we can't have any key as a object. So, but what mindset we all develop means most of the people developed is like you can't have object as the key, which is wrong. So that's why it's important to understand the core concept, like how a particular thing works. the second reason is like you don't have much hands-on. So experimenting in the org and participating in hackathons and all, I would say helps you challenge your mind. Unless you challenge your mind, you don't get the curiosity doesn't get developed. And unless you get the curiosity, suppose uh, even no, like don't participate to win. What you think it like I should participate it so that I can see like there's no I won't lose anything. Either the two scenarios would happen. Either I would learn or second I can win. Either of those is a win-win situation for me. So let's try it. And then you can work on means contribute to open source projects that are available on Salesforce. So there are various people that who contribute. So you can contribute with them, and whenever you submit a open source pull request, it's reviewed with a very qualified or very uh, great personalities or great developers. So that could help you improve your coding skills as well. Third skill means third thing that you can do is around mock interviews. So we can have multiple mock means we can try to have multiple mock interviews, not necessarily with me, but there are tons of people. Yeah, just 1 minute, I mean we'll get started. So there are various people who take the mock interviews. So whichever you like, you can take the mock interviews from them. But that means if you know but you don't know how to communicate, uh, practice on communication. If you know the technical part, means you don't know the technical part of it and you want rehearsals, then you should go with mock interviews properly. Yeah, yes, Naveen, yeah, tell me, what's the question?
I don't. Actually, I have not knowledge about the open source Salesforce project. How we can contribute it, and from where we can find what is the open source we can find out. Find.
Say on the GitHub, you find search it by Salesforce. There are tons of repositories that would come up, like the Nebula logger. Like I might means you might have heard about it, I guess. That was actually an open source project earlier. Now later they created a managed package out of it, but earlier it was an open source project, and still now the unmanaged code is available. People have contributed to that as well. Let me just show it in action, I think. This person, like whose repo it is, he is kind of, I think, a CTA. Like here, there are various people like who have like see 125 tags. Like there are different versions that have come up. There are various pull requests that has come up. That way, you can also create a you can fork. You have to fork a repository so that you can contribute in that. And then there is various like you can search in here like Salesforce, and then you can see the relevant ones, whichever has great stars. So that way you can pick up. Okay. See like this. There are various things that are available in the market. Like you can feel free to contribute on either of them. It's fine. Okay. I think now you got the intent.
Yes, yes.
So other than that, code knowledge, like you should know about the governor limits. I would say you should be on top of your mind around three governor limits you should know. And in any interview, always be aware of the latest release that have come up, because people, it's like always question like, can you tell me about like what's the latest latest feature? you like, means in the latest release, what are the best feature did you like the most? And then improve on the communication, the presentation part. Unless you're clear, and another important part here is like shyness. Many of the our candidates like don't actually, I mean, are very much shy to ask any question to the panel. So whenever a person or panel asks you a question, it tried to confirm like is there the understanding that you have of the question. If the question is an open-ended, try to again cross question the panel around, like so that you can set the boundaries. Like taking into example, like suppose can you do a call out with flow? Answer is like yes, we can do that. So but there's a restriction around, like you can't do it on the before triggers in the before flows, for example. So like that, you have to be cross question and set the boundaries of any question. That can minimize the chances of giving wrong answers. So this is what around this. And the last part is like uh, important part which I missed, like is talking about the power of networking. Like whenever you get chances, try to go to the nearest Salesforce meetups at least, and do network with people. You would okay, means they would help you gain the guidance, as well as they might help you refer them in other their own companies as well, which could help you. So this is what like it meetups can you help you gain technical knowledge, you get networking, it you can get hired very easily. And normally whichever company hosts the meetup, the venue, they're normally hiring only. So going there would only help your chance of being going there can only help you get hired. There's no loss anywhere. So that's what I had. Like, so anybody has any specific question, then we can talk about it. Otherwise, that's what I had in my deck. Like whatever I thought like could be the possible things that can come up.